everyone. Welcome back to the Baseball Diaries. This is our, would have been our
11th.
midweek episode if it was
Yeah.
Wednesday, but it's Thursday. I had a final this morning. Finals week is upon us. Almost for Tyler. Definitely for me. So the worst week in law school students' careers is alive and well, and Tyler's is only getting worse.
Yeah.
You're going to hear about that later in the episode.
No, but all I have to say to that, though, is cheers to that, because it's our last worst week of
I'll drink
our
to
law
that,
school.
brother.
Yes, our last ever. So, yeah. Now we can go ahead and head into the news and notes now that we'll drink to that.
Yep, we're drinking to that. So news and notes, Cody Bellinger, this is the first one. Cody Bellinger, 10-day IL with a rib fracture. I'm going to be honest, I think that's conservative.
I was going to say that. That seems very quick for a rib fracture.
Yeah, like a rib fracture, I think... I
they
wouldn't
can't
go
do much
60,
for it.
But I would probably go at least 15 there.
Yeah. They can't do anything for it. It's not like they can reset the rib. No, it's it's fucking fractured.
You gotta
You're
let
be in pain.
that heal.
Yeah,
it
takes a long time.
Yeah. They were playing the Astros, and apparently Cody Bellinger, he got hurt against the Astros last year too. So
he's
apparently,
cursed.
Yeah. So the Cubs, I saw Cubs Twitter was calling for it. Cubs Twitter was hilarious yesterday. They were calling for him to never play against the Astros because apparently he's getting hurt against the Astros.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, honestly, if I had a player that had been hurt in consecutive times playing one team, I would call for him to never start against that team again either.
Yes.
So I understand the sentiment there, but they called up Pete Crow Armstrong, their number one prospect, the guy who dyed his hair blue before opening day and then played in AAA to start the season.
Ooh, that's a tough look.
Yeah, no, not great. He's also a complete kamikaze pilot in the field.
That is true.
If you've seen his AAA highlights, that guy runs through the wall every day. So he'll probably end up dead in Wrigley at some point. It's so much so that a Cubs fan, I sent this tweet in our group chat, said, should we start planning PCA's funeral? Because he's going to go through that wall at 400 miles an hour and it'll be over. But he actually homered today. So for his first major league hit, great for him. Horrible for Tyler's AL team. They are in one of the worst ruts to start a season I've ever seen.
Hang on. I just got another fucking comment.
Oh, Jesus.
On the Instagram.
So Tyler's currently in the trenches against...
I am in full fucking war against my own fan base.
Yeah, he is.
Full war.
Well, this is what happens when you're not part of a fan base that's from the Northeast. You get people who are actually positive people.
Yeah, and fuck them.
Because this guy has a Northeast mentality, but he's currently a fan of a Midwest team. It makes no sense. We'll get to the war later in the episode because Tyler's probably going to end up having an aneurysm on the episode. Next news frame: Blake Snell has hit the 15-day IL with an adductor strain.
One of fucking cursing pitchers.
And Blake Snell has close to a 12 ERA. Which, I mean, realistically, I think most people should have expected, considering he didn't have a spring training.
Yeah, this
clearly
is spring training.
He clearly wasn't revved up to start the season, and I really don't know what the Giants expected. I mean, personally, I did think they got a good pitcher, but the expectations should have been dialed back a ton with Snell to start the season. Because it's this is a guy who already walks a ton of guys. You didn't give him a spring training. He has no time to rev up. You shouldn't expect lights out performances to start the season. The Orioles called up another one of their clones that they make in a factory, Heston Kjerstad.
Which, good God, his AAA numbers this year?
Otherworldly.
Yeah. I was
read them off.
Give me 1 second because I'm pulling them up.
It was 10 home runs and 31 at bats right there.
It was 10 home runs in 21 games. 30 something RBI. It was absolutely absurd.
We've already talked about the Orioles enough, but that AAA team is a cheat code and still is because Kobe Mayo and Connor Norby are still tearing it up down there. And Kobe Mayo is their top third base prospect. and they already have Jordan Westberg there. So you're like,
Yeah.
oh, where the hell do we play
So,
these guys?
in 21 games and 86 at-bats, 102 plate appearances, Heston Kjerstad has 25 runs, 30 hits, 4 doubles, 10 home runs. He hit a home run in more than, he almost hit, like, he hit a home run in every single game, pretty much. Or on pace, like, the pace-wise was for that.
Yeah.
And more, because he hit 30, or hit 10, I'm sorry. No, he hit a home run in just under half the games. So, what?
This
30
is
RBIs.
It was almost an overdue call-up because Austin Hayes hasn't been hitting... Austin Hayes currently couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. So, if I'm the Orioles, I'm keeping Kjerstad up no matter how much he struggles because I would rather have the possible production that Kjerstad offers than the current production that Hayes offers.
Yeah. I mean, he's got 30 RBI, a 1.176 OPS in AAA this year.
Which is crazy. I mean, that's, again, the Orioles farm system is just absolutely nuts. And good for the Orioles. We are a big Orioles fan podcast. That's our collective team. So good for them. Very happy for the Orioles. They're either tied or are first in the AL East right now. And like we said last episode, I don't think they're going to let that up once they take full control. Grayrod kind of got rocked last time he was out. So a little bit of a rougher week for the Orioles than I was expecting. But I believe they still did take the series against the Angels. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they still took the series. I think they took the season series against the Angels too. So I think in the 6 games they played the Angels, I think they won 4, which would give them the season series. So kind of what everyone was expecting, but Mike Trout is still Mike Trouting, but the rest of that... Yeah, so I believe that, that definitely means they won the season series, and that's what we expect from this Orioles team. So nothing really too shocking there. Just Grayrod getting rocked was a little bit surprising. It looked like I watched that game where he was getting hit around a bit. He was just kind of leaving his changeup in the zone. He was really splitting the plate with a lot of his pitches, which I expect to get better. I don't expect him to be worse than last year. He was a little raw, and I think he's getting better. But that start was kind of a comeback down to earth moment for him, and I think he'll be better as the season goes on. Moving on from them, Justin Steele for the Cubs. He's going to throw a rehab start tomorrow. So good news for Chicago Cubs fans. Not the best news for the rest of the NL Central. Max Scherzer just started his rehab assignment for the Rangers, and the Rangers also signed Johnny Cueto. So kind of delving into their pitching needs, they have a really old rotation, and it got older. I don't know if they think that's a solution. I don't think it's a solution, but it's one of the solutions of all time. I don't really know what to make of that other than the fact that Johnny Cueto is clearly not who he used to be. And then, again, more pitcher injuries. Brian Bayo has been placed on the 15-day IL with right lat soreness. So, everything that the Red Sox started the season with positively has gone off the rails in dramatic fashion. So, that not super surprising either. And then JD Martinez will make his MLB season debut on Friday. Wow, they were a little bit patient with him in the Mets offense. But, the Mets haven't been terrible. So it could be a welcome bonus for them. I don't know, exactly. I haven't paid much attention to the Mets just because I don't expect them to be...
they got hot for a little bit, and, I don't think they're going to be contending by any means. No. But I think JD Martinez,
he provides a boost.
I don't know how this ever happened, but somehow he got underrated. I genuinely do not understand how he got underrated.
No, I don't either. The dude is just a
he literally
machine.
Had 30-something home runs last year and 100 plus RBIs.
Yeah. So how we got underrated, I don't think we'll, as a podcast, be able to dissect that. But and then the last bit of news and notes, which is gonna make my head explode, is that we have, as of the Phillies, have scheduled Taijuan Walker to start on Sunday. So scheduled loss on the calendar already. Tyler's coughing up a lung.
Yeah, sorry, I've got a cold going on.
Yeah, man is dying over there.
In more ways than one.
Scheduled loss for the Phillies on, you know what, whatever, there, that flag. Scheduled loss on Sunday against the Padres. Taijuan Walker is probably not going to go more than like 2 1/3 innings and give up 6, just because he's awful. I hate it because Spencer Turnbull has been lights out to start the season, and I understand that he hasn't pitched a full season in forever, but he has a 1.33 ERA. He has the best ERA in the National League among qualified starters, and you're thinking about taking him out of the rotation because you're paying Taijuan Walker more money. I will never understand it. And then from that, perfect segue into our teams. I'm going to start because, like we already said, Tyler's currently at war with his own fan base, and we're going to let him rip that in a minute. The Phillies split their series this week with the Reds. It was a 4-game set. It was 2 for the Phillies, 2 for the Reds, obviously, split. And I have a little bit of notes on that series. So the Phillies actually threw 2 shutouts this series. And that was with the Ranger Suarez start and the Zach Wheeler start. Okay, no surprises there. Zach Wheeler went 6 today, 8 strikeouts, walked 4, which was, he didn't have his best stuff, but he still threw 6 shutout. So I'm not complaining. Orion Kerkering came in for an inning and 2/3 and was, Orion Kerkering's like one of the hidden gems in the Phillies farm system. The guy has an electric fastball and a great slider. Love him to death. He's such a good pitcher. He's so fun to watch when he's on. And he's not off often. So I think I'll get into the game 3, because the game 3, that one was all on Rob Thompson, I'm going to believe. It was pure bullpen mismanagement. Sir Anthony Dominguez came in and was just awful. Just absolutely terrible. I think he pitched his way out of a setup role so far this season. I think Orion is going to take his high leverage innings, which I love because Orion is 23 and he has a fastball that plays at the major league level, and he kind of pitches backwards. I don't know if you've ever seen Orion Kerkering pitch, but he throws his slider more often than his fastball. And this is a guy with a 98-mile fastball. And he throws his slider more because it has some of the most wicked break I've ever seen. And he ties up lefties with it in the most disgusting way possible. But also, if he needs to get me over fastball, it's I'm going to blow this by you, and there's no way around it.
Yeah.
So him pitching backwards is a little hilarious, but also I kind of love it because it's hilarious to watch. And since he's a reliever, he doesn't really need a third pitch. But if he developed a splitter, I would also love that, because apparently the Phillies love splitters for some reason. Well, you know what? Not for some reason. The splitter is a disgusting pitch.
Yeah, a good splitter. It's literally changed pitchers' careers.
Yeah, Wheeler has one now, and he's already been nasty, but he didn't like his changeup, so he's now throwing a splitter, and he's like, you know what? This works.
And that's what I like. A lot of pitchers that have a shitty changeup will develop a splitter, and I think it's a smart idea because you need something other than the slider. And I think the
Spencer
curveball.
Strider.
Yeah. I said that before because
we did talk about that.
Developing the curveball is great, but the difference between a curveball and a changeup or a splitter is you can pick up the curveball a lot easier. You can pick up a curve. You see a hump. You see the spin. You can see that. With a changeup or a splitter, you're not seeing that. Yep. It looks like the fastball coming out of your hand, and then it's 10 or 12 miles an hour slower, and then it drops off the table.
Yeah. So Orion was great today, and I think he's won himself more high leverage innings. Jeff Hoffman came in and closed it out, got 3 strikeouts in 1 inning and a third, and Jeff Hoffman's been awesome. I cannot stress how much I love Jeff Hoffman. His nickname in the Phillies team is Hoff Daddy, and he's just electric. First game of that series, the Phillies won 7-0. Cody Clemens actually came up and had 2 extra base hits. Hit a tank in the first game to really open it up for us, and that allowed Gregory Soto to come in after Ranger went 7 shut with only allowing 2 hits, and then Gregory Soto and Jeff Hoffman came and closed it out, only allowed 2 hits to the Reds, who the Reds have been very good this season. So
they have. They've been very, very good.
And we'll segue into the hot or not, because I have a Castellanos apology to make. But then the next game was not good. Christopher Sanchez had his worst start of the season, and the whole thing fell apart. It was terrible. There were a lot of errors in this game. Like, the Phillies committed, I think, 3 errors in an inning. So there were only 3 earned runs for the Reds in an 8-1 Reds win. So think about that. 3 earned runs, and they won 8-1.
Bad.
This is part of my frustration so far this season with Rob Thompson. He's mismanaged a couple games, I think. I love Rob Thompson. I think he's a great manager. However, his insistence on playing... Oh, my mistake. It was actually 4 earned runs. But he's constantly sitting lefties versus left-handed pitching. Like Stott and Marsh, who are 2 of your best hitters, sat 2 games in a row against Reds lefty starters.
One of the early episodes, I delved into their stats versus lefties, and they have good stats.
It's not worth benching.
They have very good stats against lefties.
And it's like, I don't dislike Christian Pache, but he's not Brandon Marsh. I don't dislike Whit Merrifield. In fact, Whit Merrifield was good.
It's a huge add to your lineup.
Yeah, and Whit Merrifield was good in the games he played this week, which is great for us moving down the season. But if you want your left-handed hitters to hit left-handed pitching, you have to let them face it. And if you don't, it's going to cost you at some point. And I think at some point he does have to learn that, because Stott and Marsh are everyday players. Like, they just are.
Yeah, so Bryson Stott last year, 280 batting average versus righties, 282 batting average versus lefties.
He was marginally better against lefties.
Yeah, well, got more hits. He dropped a lot on the slug, I'll say that. He drops down from 431 to 383 slug. But
you played with Bryson. You know he's not a slug guy.
No, he's a batting average guy. Yeah. Like, that's I agree that I certain managers go way too
it's like old school and archaic almost.
Yeah. And I wouldn't even say old school and archaic, because like the old school and archaic way is like you play the same 9 guys every day of the year. It's like they're getting too much into the analytics and like the lefty versus lefty matchup. It's okay, Brandon Marsh. There's a lot more of a case for sitting Brandon Marsh.
No, there is more of a case.
A lot more of a case.
There's definitely more of a case. I don't understand the Bryson Stott one.
Yeah, that one blows my mind.
But I think the thing is, when you traded for Brandon Marsh, your expectation is that he's an everyday player.
Yeah.
You have to play him against left-handed pitching to allow him to hit it.
Also, how is Brandon Marsh only 26 years old? He looks like a 37-year-old homeless man.
Dude, facial hair it can do a lot for guys, but it can also make you look so old.
He looks very old. And then also, the one thing that I hate about Brandon Marsh, that fucking long hair. Like, some guys look great with long. His is like long and wet for some reason, always.
He pours water over it.
It's awful.
Do you know why he pours water over it?
No.
So it stays out of his face. Like, he wets it so it doesn't get in his face.
Just fucking cut it then.
But it's his look. I mean, he's the caveman for a reason.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I hate it. I'm sorry. I hate it.
You can hate it. I love it. I think he's great. I love Brandon Marsh. He's a great personality.
I love him too. I think he's a great personality, but I just think that hair is awful.
No, the hair isn't.
He's not winning a flow. He's not winning a flow competition.
No, this isn't hockey. There are no flow competitions.
Bullshit. There's no flow competitions. Dansby, Harrison Bader.
But Marsh doesn't have that hair.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And also, Marsh's beard is better than Bader's. Bader's beard is ginger. It's awful.
Yeah, I don't like his beard. I agree with you there.
It was terrible. Like, I saw his Mets
Although I think
Headshot was terrible.
Brandon Marsh's beard is second to one, and I think that's Chucky Blackman.
Oh, dude.
That
Charlie
beard
Blackman
is
did though. That's Blackbeard there. You can't
that
mess
beard
with
is,
that one.
No, that beard's
Yeah.
incredible.
That Charlie Blackman is one of one in the beard game.
I needed this calm down because I was starting to because I'm gonna get there again.
Yeah. Oh, I know you are. But speaking of, Marsh had a kid come up to him in the homestand with like a. It looked like a braided Chewbacca.
I saw that. Yes,
it was one of the best things I've ever seen because I was like, he tried it on, and I was like, the one guy who doesn't need any facial hair help.
No.
Tried it on.
Yeah.
Like you put that on Stott, hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine Stott with Marsh's beard?
I don't think Stott could grow a beard, honestly.
Yeah, probably not. He has like the scruffy facial hair.
I can't either. I cannot grow a facial. I can grow the ugliest thing ever. Like, it's hilarious for me because this all is black. This whole area is black. Blonde with black sprinkled in. The corners black. And then this, when it first starts, is black, and then it turns red.
So you can't even pull off the soul patch.
No. Damn. Literally, it's
that's
awful.
tragic.
Yeah, my facial hair is not good. Yeah. Like, I look good with like a chin strap. Like, if I do a chin strap, just keep it short, golden. But
that's typically what I do. Like, I grow it out like around here, and because it's like I don't keep it long. I can't pull off the Marsh look. I can pull off like the. I can
pull off the Joe Dirt look.
It's a little bit more than Joe Dirt. Great movie.
Yeah.
It's like in between 5 o'clock shadow and actually having a beard.
That's me. That's what I like to pull. That's what I usually like to do.
Yeah. But yeah, aside from the facial hair, kind of not. Well, I mean, in a way, it was what I expected because this is a good Reds team. It's not a great Reds team, and they've been good to start the season. So starting off with them is a little bit rough because they tend to fall off mid-season.
They do.
So, I mean, take what you can get. You didn't lose everything. You were fine, and move on to the next two games in the road trip. Next two series in the road trip with the Padres and the Angels.
And honestly, the Padres have been hot.
The Padres have been hot, so I'm a little worried about that. But I want 4 or 5 wins in the next 6 games of the road trip because given the starters we're facing against the Angels, we should be able to sweep.
Yeah.
Padres, I'm optimistic. I think we could take 2 of 3. I wouldn't be shocked if it's only 1, but I would also be furious coming back to Philly with only winning anything less than 4.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
So I think 4 is the barometer there.
Especially with your guys' starting pitching this year, Rangers having a breakout year. Yeah. I mean, absolute breakout year. You did. You 100% called that. But then Spencer Turnbull has been a great addition to the starting rotation. Then Sanchez, minus that start, except for he got screwed on that start. Really,
he did.
He's been great. So
it was a lot of soft contact, which I expect out of Sanchez.
And if you guys got those 5 guys doing what they've been able to do, man, that division, it's not. I'm not going to say it's open.
No, it's not.
I wouldn't say
open,
that.
But
it just would not be a shock. It would not be insane.
It's more of a race than you would expect.
100%.
I think, especially with Strider out for the year, it's something you should be able to capitalize on. So, again, that's getting late into the season. We'll see more how it develops.
Yes.
I think if the rotation fills out, I mean, dude, we've addressed the Phillies bullpen issues. We had a bullpen meltdown in Game 3. It was awful. Anthony almost pitched his way to Lehigh Valley in that game.
And the thing is that the Phillies, they've shown a track record of when this is happening, and if they're close to running, if they're within, I mean, they're going to add at the deadline. That's they're going to add at the deadline.
I mean, that's what Dombrowski said preseason. He said if you don't add right now, you have more ammo to go at the deadline.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So obviously, we'll keep tracking that as the season goes along. But with that, I'll get into the AL team, and then I'll let you just tear up everything. Hopefully, stuff doesn't start flying across the room, but I also wouldn't be shocked if it did. I wouldn't be shocked if it did. So my AL team, the Mariners, took 2 of 3 against the Rangers and have moved into sole possession of first place in the AL West. Like we've touched on, the Western divisions so far this season have been shaky at best.
Yeah.
Shaky at best. As shaky at best is even a compliment. It's been bad. The Mariners are now top of the division with a 13-11 record. Hold on, wait. Actually, I might be wrong. I'm looking at the first game stats. Let's see what it is now. 13-12. Rangers are 13-13. Yeah, no, the Western divisions have been bad.
Which,
we're
to
not
be
gonna.
fair, though, also scheduling matchups, they've been playing a lot of each other, is what they've been.
Yeah, they
like it
have
seems
been-
like they've
they
been
have been
beating
playing
each
a lot.
other a lot. Like same thing with the NL West division. Seems like they every game it seems like it's Padres Dodgers, Padres Giants, Giants Diamondbacks. Seems like they've just been playing each other a lot, and they're doing what we said they would do. Is they would just be beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, because first game Mariners won 4-0. Second game Rangers won 5-1, and today that game actually just ended like 10 minutes ago. The Mariners won 4-3. The Mariners before that played the Rockies and took 2 of 3, and their offense kind of woke up. But it's like it's the Mariners' offense. It's really hit or miss. It's never a sure thing. I mean, the game against the Rockies, the second game was a Kirby start. He went 5. We texted about this. They pulled Kirby after 5, and he was only at 88 pitches, which we both hated.
Yep.
And they ended up losing in extras. You pull your starter at 88 pitches, especially a guy who's gone 5 shut, it most likely ends up biting you. And it did. Lo and behold, it did. But, 2 of 3 against the Rockies. For the Mariners, with their offense scuffling as bad as it has been, I think they're going to take that. And 2 of 3 against the Rangers, again, with their offense being as bad as it has been, you're going to take that. They got a really good start out of Gilbert in the first game. He was excellent. Bryce Miller wasn't as good as he has been, but was still, he was good enough. Like,
well, we never thought he would continue the pace that he was on.
No,
I mean, he's
absolutely
great.
not.
He's a good pitcher, but like he was rocking a sub-2 for a while. Like,
yeah, he was at a sub-2. He was actually their best qualified starter for a while.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know what? I take it back. He wasn't really good. He had 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, 2 earned runs, but only on 4 hits. So it's not like he was giving up hits. He gave up a homer to Adelise, which,
I guess,
yeah.
And then he's gonna hit bombs. That's what he does.
Yeah, and then it was just after that they only gave up 1 more earned run, so that makes me believe there was some kind of error after that. But like they had Sebi Zavala hitting 9th, and most of their lineup went without many hits. Julio actually, he's been J-rodding a little bit over this last 7-game stretch. I believe you sent me the stats. He was hitting like 458 over the 7-game stretch.
It was something like that, yeah.
Look, he's waking up. He's not hitting for power right now, but maybe he just needs the batting average to come up so he can start swinging the bat more freely. And I mean, your offense runs through him. So the Mariners are going to go as far as J-Rod takes them, and their pitching staff. So that's basically it for the Mariners. They did what the Mariners do. Shoddy offense, pretty good pitching most of the time. It's like their staff is going to do what they do. And then highest average fastball velocity in the Major League. Good for them.
Hey,
like, you know what?
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. But your offense has to deliver for the starters, or else you're going to go nowhere.
That honestly makes me wonder what the average fastball velo is for the Oakland A's.
Oh, Jesus, for the
Oakland A's. So it's probably super low because of everybody else.
But then you got Mason Miller.
Mason Miller's just like just pulling it up by like 5 miles an hour.
His average fastball velo's got to be like 101 at this point.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be.
The guy throws like 103 like it's
and
nothing.
It just looks like it's easy. Like it looks like he's just
it does
lobbing
look
it
like
in there.
Easy. And
boom.
You know what? The fact that they're only like Mason Miller is going to be a weapon at the trade deadline. Like I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked if that's the first number Dombrowski calls, because Mason Miller looks like such a weapon in the back end of a bullpen.
Yeah, which the Phillies could so use that. Like,
yeah, like if you could, I don't care. Like you could ship Sir Anthony there, and I would be so fine with that.
Yeah, because you're trading maybe your best pitcher, like your best pitcher out of the bullpen now, for a much better pitcher out of the bullpen. Like,
and that's the thing. Like, Seranthony isn't even our best pitcher out of the bullpen right now. That's
Yeah,
Jeff
I know.
Hoffman. Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Still,
Hoff Daddy. But like adding Mason Miller to that would elevate our bullpen's fastball velocity, like on average, I think to probably 97.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it's wicked. But that would definitely improve our bullpen. I hope that happens. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
Again.
if you had him, Hoff Daddy, and then Alvarado, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And like you got Orion, you could sneak into the 7th and 8th, and you're just like everyone's throwing gas, and
Yep.
they got some wicked sliders to go along.
And that
with
also adds Alvarado as a setup man and as a lefty throwing just gross pitches.
And you still have Greg Soto too, who's also a lefty.
I forgot you guys had Greg Soto. I always for some reason I always like
we have a good mix of
him.
righties and lefties in the bullpen. Like Soto's kind of a hit or miss pitcher. Like
oh my god, sorry, I forgot to hit the cough button.
Like Soto's a little bit hit or miss. Like when he's on, he's unhittable. But when he's off, he's walking guys and giving up like bloop singles. But dude, I don't know what he did to the ump yesterday, but that ump was pissed at him. Like wasn't giving him like he was throwing very good pitches and just wasn't getting the calls on like the black. Like and I mean like there were fastballs dotted on the black and he just wasn't getting them. And I swear he almost got tossed. And I understood it. Because it's like he was throwing pitches that should have been called strikes and he just wasn't getting them. So I understood why he was angry, but also like I like when a pitcher has that attitude because it's like I know I'm dotting that fastball.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what the Phillies do at the deadline. I wouldn't be shocked if Dombrowski calls whoever the hell the Oakland GM is about Mason Miller. So once we get closer to the deadline, I'm sure we'll talk about that more.
Yeah.
But with that being said, the floor is yours, Tyler.
Okay. Before I get into the war that I'm in, I'm gonna go AL first because
okay. Before you get into the war, how close are you to hitting that panic button now?
My hand is probably a few inches from the button at this point because of some turning of events with the Astros. Because before it was just it
was hovering.
It was hovering, and then not only that, but the reason I had some hope was and some pause before hitting the panic button was because the offense was doing what the offense does, but the offense is cooling off. Like minus Altuve and Tucker, who Kyle Tucker and Jose Altuve, like they're gonna do what they always do. Bregman is rocking a 566 OPS. Even Jordan is under an 800 right now.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, which I don't think he knows what under an 800 OPS even looks like.
Just for context, this is their worst start since 2013.
Yikes! And that was that's when they were actively trying to lose baseball games.
Yeah, and I think because that was leading up to the draft they got Kyle Tucker in 2015, and you're thinking, how many games did they lose in like the last 2 starts over the last 2 years? And I think they've lost more this year than they did in the last 2 years combined so far.
Yeah, I believe it. And like the Yainer Diaz, he's only got a 725 OPS right now. Jeremy Pena, he's dropped down to he's still got a good batting average of 324, and obviously you're going to take that. But his OPS, his pop's dropping down a little bit. He went 0 for 4 today, so he's got a 780 OPS. Chas McCormick has a 235 batting average and a 600 OPS. Mauricio Dubon, 693 OPS. Like the offense is scuffling big time, which is scary because that was the only thing even giving me any kind of pause. Them getting back Verlander was big. I mean, he looked great today. Threw 4 1/3, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts. But then one of their better, more consistent relievers this year, Montero, blows the game, giving up 2 earned runs. And then Brian Abreu gives up another earned run. And he's actually dropped down his ERA, but to a 4.97, where he was up at a 10 for a while.
Because I know Abreu gave up the homer to Crow Armstrong. I think the guy on second, I think Montero left him there. Yeah,
that's probably that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the panic button is I'm not going to press it yet, but man, is it getting close. Because we've said before, that division is going to be separated by like between the first 3 teams at least, that division's going to be separated by a game, maybe 2, maybe 3. Like, and if you miss out, and if they even come back in May, June, and July, and
it might be too late.
Exactly, it just might be too late. They might get hot at the end and come within 3 games. But that's the difference between them making the playoffs and them not making the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, with the Mariners figuring it out and the Rangers getting back Scherzer coming up pretty soon, I mean, they're getting Scherzer back pretty soon, and then they're getting DeGrom back. Like,
and that's just a scary thing to think about.
So that means their top 3 are going to be Jacob DeGrom, Max Scherzer, and Nathan Eovaldi. So right now you're getting the worst version of the Rangers, is what you're getting. You're getting the weakest form of the Rangers. And I don't know what the Astros schedule looks like. I'm going to look it up
I'm actually
right now.
pulling it up right now too.
Because I want to look towards the end of the season when they play the the Rangers again. Because I mean the Mariners, they are what they're going to be. Like they're not going to be like
I don't expect their offense to do record numbers, and I don't think anyone does. But I mean, if they build a sizable gap now, you were going to have a problem late in the season.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's look.
Yeah, currently, that's
So
where do we want to look? You want to look like
in September?
August?
They don't. Well, I'm looking right now. It's September and August. They play the Rangers in basically the second week of August. First week of August, technically. And that's it, luckily, for them. But and then they play the Mariners in the last week of September.
So I'm going to tell you something that might frighten you a bit. End of August, they have back-to-back away series against a 4-game set against the O's and a 3-game set against the Phillies in Philadelphia.
Yeah. So, and then in that same month, they take on the Rangers and they play the Rays, and they play the Rays twice. Like, there's not that.
There's not a lot of wiggle room.
No, and then like into September, they play the Reds. They play Oakland, which is nice, and Phoenix, which is okay, and then they play the Angels, and they play the Padres, and then the Angels again. So like, there's some cushion in there where they can make up some ground. But
if you drop too many games this early, you're going to be sweating more than you want to.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't think it needs to come down to the last game like it did last year.
Which would be exciting as hell, but also you're going to be sweating bullets trying to get through those series.
And who's to say that you're who's to say you're not on the opposite end of it this year?
Yeah, you might be.
Like
you might be the Mariners on the outside looking in this year.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the scary part. And when you lose, I mean, think about the Mariners last year in April. One of those games could have been the deciding factor.
It could have been, 100%.
So
right now, you're taking the Mariners pitching staff 100% of the time.
Yeah, 100%.
And
so yeah,
just the way the offense is scuffling. You can't take that offense over the Mariners pitching staff.
No, and well, like you could if the Astros had a good pitching staff right now. Like, but
don't.
They're not. Exactly.
Yeah. They're down 4 runs in the first inning, like every game.
It's due to injuries, 100%. But they're not getting they're getting Christian Javier back, or Christian Javier as wait, no, he also got injured. Yeah,
he did. I think he hit the 15-day, right?
Yeah, and then Framber, it looks like good news, so it looks like he's going to be back too. So, like,
it's comparable, but you're down a lot of games early.
Yeah, it's getting close. It's getting close to panic time. Okay, so now
the trenches.
I have been in an absolute war with Cardinals fans, my own fans. Like, I am as diehard Cardinals fan as you can get. I promise you.
Tattoo.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but yes, there is a tattoo of the Arch and STL on my calf. Like, I am as diehard of a Cardinals fan as I can get, which is why I'm as upset as I am. Because
justifiably,
for majority of my lifetime, up until 2011. That front office, their philosophy was, we're going to win a World Series. That's why I've seen 2 World Series wins and I think 4 World Series appearances. Because that's what their philosophy was for so many years. Like, that's the philosophy they should have. Because how many World Series rings do the Cardinals have? 11. You know who's the only franchise that has more? The Yankees. They have the second most World Series wins. They are historic for being good every single year. They don't rebuild. They don't retool, because I shouldn't say that. They do have to retool because like that's baseball in general. But they've never been the team that is looking to build a 500 ball club and just and be okay with that. That's what they are at this point.
They currently are at that, yeah.
They are the team, and they wonder why people are upset, like that a 500 ball club is playing like a 500 ball club. Like that's what happens when you build a 500 ball club.
Well, that's the problem. You have fans that are realistic about the situation, like you, Sean, and like, I mean, it's a smattering of others.
Yes.
But then you have the ones that are like overly positive, like the ones you're going to war with, who are like, "Oh no, this is fine." It's like, no, it's not.
Yeah. So this is what started. I found the tweet. The tweet was, this was, and to put it into context, this was immediately after the Kyle Gibson start on Wednesday, when he actually threw a good game. Which, yeah, I'll be fair, he threw a good game. Dallas Braden threw a fucking perfect game. He's not a good pitcher. That just, like, everybody can have a good day at the office.
Kyle Gibson's a serviceable 5.
Yes, exactly. And that's the problem with the Cardinals. They built a team with 1 good pitcher and 5 serviceable 5s. Just I should say 4 serviceable 5s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and not good 5s, serviceable. Like, let's say our 5 was the Phillies 5, Sanchez. I would be ecstatic. He would literally be the second best pitcher on our staff right now, and it wouldn't even be fucking close.
Yeah.
Because
Turnbull's throwing like a damn 2.
Yeah. And is that going to continue? Probably not. But
no.
Still, he's your 4. That's what he's supposed to be. Like,
yeah,
that's fine. Like, so here's the tweet. For as much flack as John Mozeliak and the rest of the front office have received for the start of the season, shouldn't he also receive credit for stabilizing 2024's pitching staff with the signings of Sonny Gray, Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson, and multiple relievers acquired? Now, I was fair, and I said I'll agree with the Sonny Gray and the bullpen signings, but hell no to the starters. Lance Lynn right now is pitching out of his goddamn ass. He has a 2.81 ERA, but if you look back, look into FIP, look into how lucky he's getting, he has a 4.10 expected ERA and a 4.44 FIP. Kyle Gibson, after that incredible start he had, has a 4.35 ERA, which is, again, a 5 starters ERA, an expected ERA of 6.01, and a FIP of 5.22.
An xERA with the defense behind him that he has is crazy.
With the possibly best defensive third baseman of all time at third base, and then one of the best defensive first baseman at first. Oh, and then also Mason Wynn, who is one of the better defensive shortstops. Oh, and not only that, Brendan Donovan, who can play any position ever at a better than average level.
Nolan Gorman isn't even a bad second baseman.
No, exactly. So, that's just, he's getting incredibly lucky.
And like, there's maybe one third baseman in all of history that you could argue is even close to the same level as Arenado, and it's Mike Schmidt, and Mike Schmidt doesn't even say he's at that level.
No, Nolan Arenado, for the first time,
Mike Schmidt loves Arenado too.
Nolan Arenado last year was the first time in history of him being in MLB that he did not win the Gold Glove. It was also I believe, first year he did not win the Platinum Glove.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that shows you how good that is. That was the start of my war. Now, second part of my war was I was listening to Talking Baseball, and some drunk fucking redneck goes, "Oh, well, I think Cardinals fans should be happy with the starts they've been getting out of these starters." Yes, with the lucky stuff that it's been lucky. That's all it has been. And people are like, "Oh, well, it's the offense that's killing us right now." Yes. I'm not worried about the offense. The offense will turn it around. Like, they're gonna be fine. That's Nolan Arenado. That's Paul Goldschmidt. That's Wilson Contreras. That's Lars Nootbaar. That's Nolan Gorman. Like, they're gonna figure it out. Like, I'm not worried about them. What I am worried about is the pitching regressing to the mean that is not only shown by just, like, looking at the games, but it's shown in complete stats. Like, you can look at the stats and show that they're just bad. I mean, same Miles Michaelis. 4.78 ERA. That's getting lucky, which is terrible. A 4.78 is getting lucky? Oh, I'm sorry. This year, 6.49 ERA. That was last year. I'll get into that. This year, Michaelis has a 6.49 ERA, an expected ERA of 5.82, and a FIP of 5.01. So, even if he was
your
pitching to
opening day starter too.
Exactly. Even if he was pitching to his expected numbers, a 5 ERA that would be. Then Steven Matz, 5.55 ERA, 5.05 xERA, 4.14 FIP. That's a team of fives that they've built in Sonny Gray. That's what they've done. And so they were talking about how they stabilized the bullpen from last year. Okay. Last year, 2023, their team ERA was a 4.83 that was 24th in MLB. This year, a 4.19 ERA, 22nd in the MLB. Big jump. And that's with Sonny Gray, last year's runner-up for AL Cy Young. Now I'm going to break it down even further. 2023 starting pitcher ERA, an abysmal 5.06 to be 26th in all of MLB. Relief pitchers that year, 4.47 ERA, which is 23rd in baseball. This year, starting pitchers, 4.47 ERA, 23rd in baseball. So we jumped up 3 spots with the addition of last year's AL's second in Cy Young. And the relief pitchers ERA is a 3.77, which is 14th in MLB. So you get a bottom third starting pitching staff, even when you have last year's runner-up for AL Rookie of the Year.
And we talked
Cy
about
Young.
this before.
And then we have a literally league average bullpen. Literally as 14th. There's 30 teams, one down, so one better than league average. That could change at any fucking moment.
It can. And we were talking about this before we even came on. Sonny Gray's probably going to pull down the average ERA of this team by 1 full run.
Yeah, just him alone. That's because they're all going to be pitching at around a 4.5 ERA, and he's going to be pitching at a 2.5 ERA.
Yeah,
one thing doesn't look like the others, and it's
Sonny Gray. He went 6 1/3 and still lost the damn game.
Yes, and I understand. That's our hitting has been bad. Is that all the offense? But it's gonna turn. It's gonna turn. The offense will turn it on.
The one thing you can rely on there is Sonny Gray will go 6 1/3 and only give up 2, and your offense might win you. Will probably win you those games. They're not going to win you the games where Lance Lynn goes out there and gives up 7.
So, now I'm going to continue my war with the fucking fan base. So, Redbird Riot, who is on Instagram, go ahead, Twitter. Blow his shit up. Yeah, blow his shit up because doesn't piss me off. He's one of the fans that when I commented, what are your expectations he put, what are your expectations for the team? And I said 500 was exactly what I said because that is a 500 ball club that you've just put on the field. Bad pitching, better than average hitting, 500. That's exactly what that is. So he put a Instagram thing out that says, "Hey Siri, define underrated," and it's a picture of JoJo Romero, which he has been great. I'm not knocking JoJo. I'm not knocking Farmer JoJo. Phil. Definitely not knocking Kittredge. He's been incredible, and definitely not knocking Helsley. He's one of my favorite closers we've had in a long time. Then I said, define overrated. The Cardinals starting rotation, and who's overrating them? Who's overrating them again? None other than my own fan base. And the first comment I got 3 likes on that. The comment underneath me just goes, "Huh?" ? And that's got 12 likes. So that just shows you more of our dumb fans believe that the pitching staff is going to do well, than understand that they're not. They're just not. Kyle Gibson last year had a 4.73 ERA. Last year, Lance Lynn had a 5.73 ERA. Miles Michaelis had a 4.78 ERA. Those signings were ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I did this before, and people were like, "Oh, well, what should they have done? What if we would have traded for Shane Bieber or traded for Lucas Giolito?" That's not what they should have done. They paid, between Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson, $23 million. Jordan Montgomery got $25 million. $2 million more for a pitcher. So Lance Lynn last year had -8 WAR, and Kyle Gibson had 0.9 WAR. Monty, by himself last year, had 4.1 WAR. So that's over 4 wins above replacement more from one pitcher. So yeah, am I telling you that I'd rather have 2 good starting pitchers than 1 good starting pitcher and 4 shitty ones? Yes, 100%. Like, and guess what? You don't sign those 2. We keep Dakota Hudson, which Dakota Hudson is not good. I'm not going to say he's another 5, but that's what we have anyways. That's the same thing as what Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn are. And guess what? Also on the Dakota Hudson side, Dakota Hudson is 27 years old. Lance Lynn is 35, and Kyle Gibson is 34. So who am I more confident in figuring it out? A 34-year-old pitcher or a 27-year-old pitcher? I'm going with the 27-year-old. He's probably got a better chance of figuring it out. And also, Kyle Gibson's
actually 36.
36. I'm sorry. Thank you.
You're
Regardless,
welcome.
Dakota Hudson is a ground ball pitcher, and we have, as we've said, one of the best defensive infields in baseball. So yeah, I'll take a chance on him any day of the week versus Lance Lynn or Kyle Gibson. Is it my ideal situation? No, but it would have been a better situation.
Now.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's exactly much better than what I've been at now.
Like, think about it. Like, for comparison's sake, just for comparison's sake, is Turnbull's dominance going to continue? No. But is he going to be a sub-3 guy? I doubt it.
No.
But will he be sub-4? Probably.
Yeah.
The Phillies currently have 3 starters sub-2. And
yeah,
you guys are all flirting with
I'll go back to my
5.
rant. So, I also had somebody comment to me, at least one of Lance Lynn, Miles Michaelis, or Kyle Gibson is going to have a sub-4 ERA. And I said, no, they won't. Based on last year's statistics, where Kyle Gibson had a 4.73 at 4.13 FIP. Lance Lynn, 5.73, 4.44 FIP. Miles Michaelis, 4.78, expected ERA of 5.44. Like, no. Why would I think that they're gonna have a sub-4 ERA between those 3? There's no way. It's just mind-blowing to me how many people think that this team is going to be better than, or this team's pitching staff is going to be better than what their expected numbers are. And not only that, but last year's numbers. So even if you don't believe in the expected numbers, go off of last year's number then. Because guess what? They're just as fucking bad. And I had to fight on this. I have 28, now 29 comments. Also, I had one guy go, a lot of people were saying, it's just one blip start, the 14-run game that was 2 days ago, that someone tried to say that they were 10th in baseball in ERA as starters before that. No, they weren't. They were before Wednesday or Tuesday start where they gave up 14 or whatever earned runs. It was 14, yeah. They were 23rd in baseball with a 4.47 ERA as a rotation. So yeah, that one bad start did not change anything. The starting rotation minus Sonny Gray is atrocious. I'm not even just gonna say bad. If any one of them minus Sonny Gray has under a 4 ERA, I will be beyond shocked. Beyond. It would be, and if it is, it's gonna be like a 3.9, which that's not a 2 guy. I'm sorry, that's not.
No,
it's not a 2. That is like I said, they built a 500 baseball club, and I have been absolutely annoyed with all of it. And it's showing. They're not even 500, first of all. And guess what? People are saying, the pitching staff is going to continue doing that. Guess what? Even if the pitching staff continues doing it and the hitters do it, if they continue doing exactly what they're doing, we still have a negative 26 run differential right now. That's 3rd worst in the National League. We have a worse run differential right now than the Washington Nationals, who are in complete rebuild mode. So, yeah. I am absolutely appalled at my own fan base for supporting this shit show of a product that they're putting on the field. But I understand, stand by your guys, but this is ridiculous.
There's got to be a degree.
I can't stand by the front office continually spitting in my face saying, we're we love our fan base, we blah, blah, blah. We were 4th in attendance last year overall, and we were the worst team in the National League. We were 4th in attendance per game and worst in the National League. And they go out and they spit right in our fucking faces again. It's hard, like, and I understand from a business perspective, why the fuck would you? Like, Bill DeWitt, all he cares is that his pocketbooks are lined right now, and guess what? They're lined because we keep showing up to the fucking games, we keep buying the jerseys, we keep doing everything that he wants, and he's gonna say, yeah, sure, I'll keep throwing out a 500 ball club. That's fine.
It's almost a John Fisher-esque move.
It is. It's 100% a John Fisher-esque move.
Like, you can't. The only positive over the last week was the fact that Cardinals fans actually weren't showing up to games.
Yeah.
Like, for the first time in forever.
But did you look at the ticket sales?
Oh, yeah, no. It wasn't reflective of who was in the ballpark.
No, it was 30. It was still like 36,000 tickets. Because I saw a picture. It was like 36,000 tickets bought, and that was the game where they lost 14-1. And basically, everyone bought tickets. They got blown out, and people started leaving. Which, guess what? Bill still doesn't give a fuck because he bought those tickets.
Yeah, you still paid. You're already, like, even if you're only there for 3 innings, you're still there.
You paid for the ticket. That's all he cares about.
You probably bought a beer.
Yeah, for $9.
At some point, like, I hate to say it to you, but, like, you got to get to Phillies rebuild levels.
Yeah,
like, because Phillies fans have been very good in the past 3 years. Citizens Bank Park was empty from, like, 2011 until 2022.
Which after last year, that's how it has to be. Like, and here's the thing. Here's the thing that is the most frustrating part about it to me. You know who's a free agent at the end of the year?
Isn't it Goldie?
Goldie's a free agent after the end of this year. And you don't think he's going somewhere else? He's going somewhere else.
He's gonna get his retirement contract.
He doesn't. What Goldschmidt wants is to play in the fucking playoffs, because he hasn't won a World Series. He hasn't had a long history of playing in the playoffs. He's done it a few times, but not a lot. Never went deep into the playoffs.
His last playoff experience was 2022 against the Phillies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, like, he's played in the playoffs, but what he wants is I'm sure what he wants is a World Series. And the Cardinal fans, they can do what they want. But at the end of the day, he's going to want to win a World Series, which means he's going to go to a team like, I don't know, the Yankees, who right now they got Anthony Rizzo at first. What wouldn't
Goldie's an upgrade?
Yeah, you don't say.
By far.
Yeah. Like, it's sad to see. And guess what? You don't think if we lose Paul Goldschmidt, you don't think that Nolan Arenado is next? You're high as a fucking kite.
Nolan Arenado is next.
He's 100% next. He's gone, and he already demanded a trade when he was with the Rockies for this exact reason, because the front office promised him, we're going to build the team, we're going to build a franchise that wins a World Series. That didn't happen, and he finally got fed up with it, and he gave them all of the benefit of the doubts. I mean, when he signed that extension, the Rockies did not look like they were going to build a World Series team. They were not bad, but
no, they weren't.
They weren't good by any means. Like, they made the playoffs once. Like, so he's going to demand a trade because Nolan Arenado's contract only runs through 2026. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's
if
2 years.
Leaves, he's gone.
Yeah, that's 2 years after this year. Like, he's gone. I'm sorry. Actually, it goes through 2027. But he has no trade.
He's requesting a trade if
he has no trade.
Goldschmidt.
Agreed, 100% agreed. Of course he's going to, like, I don't think, he's not going to do it. He's already gave the Rockies the benefit of the doubt for too long. He's not giving the Cardinals that.
No, he's definitely, he's older and wiser now.
Yeah, I mean, he gave them the benefit of the doubt, and he's only getting older, and if he waits till the end of his contract, he'll be 37 by the end of the contract. So, he's not going to wait that long. Like,
no. Because he wants a World Series, too.
Of course. And guess what? Sonny Gray's, when is his contract up? Because he only signed, 5 years?
I think it was either 5 or 4.
It was something like that.
And Sonny Gray's no spring chicken.
3. I'm sorry, it was a 3-year contract.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which
we were both wrong.
Yeah, we were both wrong. For some reason I thought it was 5, and I was thinking that was too long when I said that. But, okay, so 3-year contract, 2024, 2025, 26. So that's 2026. So who's to say next year they don't trade him? Like, if the team sucks, they're going to keep getting rid of their good pieces to get prospects, which, I'm sorry, but Sonny Gray showed me exactly what I'd have been expecting of the Cardinals pitching department by literally upright confronting John Mozeliak and saying, you guys don't have any of the pitching necessities that they had in Minnesota, which is like, Minnesota's not known for turning pitchers' careers around by any means. Like,
they got Pablo Lopez to be a favorite for the Cy Young somehow.
But that's his numbers don't back it up. But
no,
they're not like the pitching factory, like let's say a Houston Astros are, where they took Justin Verlander in, put him to all their machines, and said, "Here's what you need to do to fix your career." And guess what? He got two Cy Youngs out of it. Like, because he went over as an aging man. He was what, 30, 34 when he went over there? 35?
I think so.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing. It's not just
pitched to like a 2.2 ERA last year.
This is a burn down the whole ship situation. This is get rid of the GM, get rid of the president of baseball op, keep Chaim Bloom. Keep him, because Chaim Bloom has a history of turning shit around.
He at least gets prospects that are actually worth investing in.
Exactly. And all of the prospects that we have traded for have been shit. Matthew Liberatore. We traded him for Randy Arozarena. Zach Gallen, Sandy Alcantara. Traded them for, I think that was the Marcell Ozuna trade.
That was the Ozuna trade.
Marcell Ozuna.
I knew that was going to come up. I knew it was going to hurt.
Zach Gallen is a Cy Young caliber pitcher every single year, and he might do it this year. Sandy Alcantara.
I wouldn't be shocked. He has a 3.0 ERA right now.
Every year he has a 3.0 ERA. He's so consistent.
He has a sub-3 pretty much every year.
Exactly. Sandy Alcantara already won a fucking Cy Young.
You know what's going to hurt? You know what Zach Allen's Twitter banner is? His MLB debut with the Miami Marlins when he pitched against the Cardinals in St. Louis.
Which I'm going to tell you right now, if there's ever been a fuck you to an organization, there it is.
You know he's a diehard Cardinals fan, right? He grew up He grew up in Jersey.
I'm going to say this again. If there's ever been a fuck you to an organization, it's right there.
Yep.
Like, trust me, if I was in his shoes, I would have done the same fucking thing. If I would have gotten drafted by the Cardinals and then they trade me away and I become a Cy Young caliber pitcher, yeah, you're getting a big fuck you.
And the thing is, it's like, this isn't even like a kid that didn't grow up loving your franchise. This kid loved the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And he grew up in Jersey. Like, he grew up across the way from Citizens Bank Park. I love Zach Gallen, but I knew he grew up a Cardinals fan. Would I still love him in the Phillies rotation? Of course. Love Zach Gallen.
Oh, and then let's not only forget the other prospect that we got, or one of the other prospects we had that we literally traded away for cash considerations, Adolis Garcia, who has literally been one of the best hitters in baseball since getting a chance to start full-time. Basically, his first few years in the MLB, he didn't get a chance to start full-time in the Cardinals organization, nor with the Rangers when they traded him for cash consideration. Since then, he has been an All-Star twice. He is currently leading the MLB in RBIs. He hit his lowest RBI total was 90 in his first season, in which he hit 31 home runs that year. And then the year after that, he had 100.
And that was like the worst Rangers team of this current era.
Yeah. Then it was 101 RBIs, and then last year was 107 RBIs. Like, it's not. This is not a Band-Aid fix. I'm sorry, it's not. This is a torch everything fix. And unfortunately, with the Cardinals fans, the way that they are, as loyal as they are, it's going to be a long time before they torch everything, because Bill DeWitt is lining his pocketbook so he doesn't give a fuck about us.
Yep.
Rant over.
This is like you need emergency surgery, and the Cardinals front office is offering you a Band-Aid and some Neosporin.
Pretty much. This is like you're having appendicitis, and they give you some Tums.
Yep. Not going well.
No. Rant over. Also, I think the person who said that they were 10th in ERA on Instagram before that blow up was a bot. Because
Probably.
they don't have any followers, and I think this is just Russia trying to get me upset. And it was successful. It was very successful.
Well, the Cardinals are a sensitive subject.
They weren't in 2011 or 2005 or 2006 or 2004 or basically most of my childhood.
And now they are.
Yes.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, except for now
I've progressed into a new era.
Yeah, your childhood was like, damn, the Phillies suck, and then it was like, okay, they're getting good.
My childhood, I got the World Series, and I had that one golden age, and it should have resulted in multiple World Series. It didn't. Your Cardinals broke my heart in 2011.
Yeah,
and then after that, we got to rip your hearts out and push in 2022. So
it's true. But here's the thing, though. Here's the difference. I had zero expectations for the Cardinals in 2022. When we went and played against Philly, I immediately thought, Philly's probably going to beat us. Philly's a better team than we are. That's the difference. That's the main difference. Yeah. I haven't had high expectations for the Cardinals since 2011. Even the 2013 run was it was the most smoke and mirrors run ever. Like that team was not that good. Colton Wong hit out of his goddamn ass in the playoffs. Matt Carpenter was just for some reason good. He was good for a stretch of time. He was. I'm not going to say he wasn't.
And he's been that player pretty much his whole career.
Yeah, I mean he's hot or not. Like he's literally the definition of hot or not. Like when he gets hot, he's a great hitter. But you saw a steep decline with him real quick, and they tried way too long to keep him along. Same thing with Paul Goldschmidt. Like in that year, 2013, I'm going to pull it up right now because if I remember right, that was the year that Shelby Miller, Michael Wacha, and Adam Wainwright were pitching out of their fucking mind.
Probably.
I'm almost positive that was the year.
Well, I mean, because that's the thing. Like, the expectation difference in those years, like, especially in 2022, the Phillies went into the playoffs with absolutely nothing to lose. And, shit, dude, I was just happy to be there. Like, they hadn't been since 2011.
But that,
I legitimately called my friend crying when we made it.
My dad literally had a bet on the Phillies to win the World Series that year, and I'm not even joking.
God, we were so close.
They were, and the thing is that when he made that bet, I was like, that's actually not a bad bet because they were a good team. They were a very good team, and they did what good teams should do. That year in 2022, they had Bryson Stott, JT Realmuto, Rhys Hoskins, Gene Segura, Alec Boehm, Kyle Schwarber, Nicholas Castellanos, Bryce Harper, Didi Gregorius, Brandon. Like they had guys,
and we got rid of it. Like we DFA'd Didi Gregorius halfway through the season and made Bryson Stott the full-time shortstop.
And then it's the same team that you guys have basically right now. You had Zach,
except we have Trey Turner.
Yeah, except for you added Trey Turner. Like, and you had Zach Wheeler, Ranger Suarez, Aaron Nola. Like your 5-starter was our current 3-starter 3 years ago. Yeah. This is 2 years ago.
In the playoffs?
Probably none.
None.
Yeah, I did not imagine.
Actually,
so.
No, he might have thrown like a scrub inning in one game. Yeah. I don't know.
That's how it should have. That's how he should be treated. So that team was good, and they did what good teams should do. Is they went to the World Series and they said, you know what, we're gonna add, and that's unfortunate.
Well, that's also like we were talking about before the podcast even started. We were talking about difference in ownership. Like John Middleton and DeWitt are completely different personalities. Like John Middleton, before the season even started, he got the entire Phillies team together and said, I want my fucking trophy back. Because he cares. And DeWitt clearly doesn't. So, like, complete polar opposites in ownership.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, sucks for you. Like, I'm not happy about it. For some reason, Braves fans are really happy about the Cardinals' downfall. I don't really get that, but
yeah, I don't either. But yeah, I mean,
it's like you're not even rivals.
I mean, I'm actually shocked that when did fucking Mo become the so.
You're going to continue to get more frustrated.
Yeah, I
you know
am.
that, right?
I am. I'm just. Ooh, here's a good one. 10 worst moves by the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh God, this is going to be bad.
This is going to be real bad, and I'm going to read them all off because I can, and because they should be talking. Trading Patrick Wisdom, that wasn't a bad. I mean, that wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Signing Andrew Miller, that was a bad one. Yes,
Yep.
Signing Andrew Miller was bad. Brett Cecil, I forgot about that one. That was terrible. And I remember when they signed him, I was like, why the fuck did they sign him? The Matt Carpenter extension, yeah, no shit, that one was bad.
Colton Wong extension, got to be on there.
Steven Matz signing, yet another one. And most of these, if you have noticed, most of these are recent. Dexter Fowler signing, that one was fucking brutal. Mike Leake signing, I forgot about that one, also bad. Randy Arozarena trade, 3. Adolis Garcia trade, 2. Huh.
If the Gallen and Alcantara one is
that
at number one.
Yep, yeah, and that's number 1. Yeah.
Yep.
So, right, there is a complete world where right now
your 1 and 2 are Gallen and Alcantara.
And our 1 is Sonny Gray, our 2 is Zach Gallen. And then Alcantara is our 3. And not only that,
and that's probably the best pitching staff in baseball.
You also want to know another one that fucking
may as well rip it now.
I'm going to, because this one is so. You know who is another diehard Cardinals fan? Grew up in St. Louis and pitched in St. Louis. Max Scherzer, and when he became a free agent after the Tigers run, said that I believe Wainwright called him and asked if he'd be interested, and he said yes. I just need a phone call from them. Basically,
all he needed was a fucking phone call.
Basically, all he said was, "I just need a phone call," and he was almost not saying it, but implying strongly that he'd take a hometown discount. And guess what? During that contract that he signed with the Nationals, Max Scherzer won 3 Cy Youngs.
Yep, I remember. I remember that was Philly's rebuild.
There is a universe where the rotation, as of let's say 4 years ago, let's go, would be Max Scherzer, Adam Wainwright, Zach Gallen, Sandy Alcantara. And there's another universe where AG is in our lineup. And Randy Arozarena.
Yep.
All that says 2019.
And that if you add all of those pieces together, that's probably 2 World Series. That is minimum. Minimum.
That is the Braves of today, is what it is. It's the
that is a Braves.
That's a 100-game winning team right there.
Yep, 100%.
Okay, I'm done. We can move on to the Orioles because they're my new favorite team.
Smart man. Go O's. Remember, Big O's podcast here. Like we said last time, if you're not watching the Orioles, you should be watching the Orioles. Yep. Very fun team to watch. If you're an AL East fan, I guess you hate it. Fine, whatever. Otherwise,
basically, if you're a Yankees fan.
Yeah, if you're a Yankees fan. Because the Red Sox are, everyone's dead.
Yeah, they died.
The Rays are actually doing close to what close to what I predicted, closer than I thought they would be to it.
Well, this is the first time.
Closer than we both thought.
Yeah, this is the first time where the Rays showed what they've showed the last 10 years, where they're not very scary this year, and then normally they went out and they became scary for some reason. But this year's the first time where it's you look at them and they're they're not that scary, and they're showing it.
Yeah, no, it's the lack of fear is justified.
Yes.
And it's oh.
Yeah, this is new.
This is what we've expected the last couple of years, and it's happening now.
Yeah, finally. After the last basically decade.
Essentially. So the offseason moves they made haven't panned out.
Yeah.
And
which is a shocking
Phil Maton seemed like the most obvious bet for a sub-2 ERA and somehow throwing 95 again. Hasn't happened.
Yep.
Their entire bullpen has been awful. I mean, right now the Phillies is worse, but I mean, which one's more due for regression? The Phillies bullpen.
Yeah.
And regression to the mean. Not
I know what you're saying.
Getting worse. And you're just like, well, what the hell happened? And I don't know if anyone has the answers. I know I certainly don't.
I mean, Pete Fairbanks not throwing well is blowing my mind.
Yeah, because I thought I'd regret the pick, and now I'm like, wait, maybe I was a misunderstood genius.
And again, this is still early. It's April.
It is. It
very
is
well come.
It could completely turn around.
Yeah, and if any team is primed to do it, it's definitely the Rays, because for some reason they're going to do some voodoo devil magic again. And
well, they do have that devil magic, so
I don't know what deal they made with the devil, but
it had to be a sick one. Especially for one where they haven't won a World Series, it had to be a sick one.
They had to have won that golden fiddle. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, 100%.
But back to the Orioles. Orioles take 2 out of 3 against the Angels, which shocking.
And it took the season series essentially what everyone expected the Orioles to be doing.
And there's one thing that we have to do, and it's play that fucking song.
Play the fucking song!
Finally, Gunnar Henderson's getting some respect. They ranked him as 5th to win MVP this year, which, honestly, might even be low.
I think it's low.
Yes.
I think it's low.
Yes.
I mean, the dude is hitting the cover off the ball.
Yes.
He's if you look at the Savant page,
blood red. Highest average exit velocity off the bat currently in MLB baseball. Like, MLB, you know what I meant to say. Yeah.
I know what you meant. And like, that's the thing. Like, Gunnar is just otherworldly. And when you think about it, like, okay.
He has the second best OPS in American League right now. And he's a shortstop, a great shortstop.
Yes, absolutely. He was exceptional on defense. Last game against the Angels to win the season series and win that series against the Angels. 3 for 3. I believe he had 2 walks.
Yes,
he was hitting leadoff. He's been hitting leadoff the whole year. And like they've been talking about it on MLB, finally, like this is late recognition for Gunnar considering how good he has been.
Oh,
and me and Tyler have been on the Gunnar Henderson train for a while.
All right, are you?
If you're not on it yet, get the fuck on the train because it's leaving the station.
Are you ready to lose your edge streak?
Absolutely, I'm always ready to lose that.
He's got already 1.6 WAR. He leads. He leads baseball in triples with 3 triples. He's got 30 hits, 309 batting average, 373 slug, leads the American League in slugging percentage, OPS, OPS plus, and total bases.
From a shortstop.
He's got a 199 OPS plus right now.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's better than Ohtani's last year.
Yeah.
And
that OPS...
Catch us in Camden Yards this summer. We're rocking Gunnar jerseys. You'll see us there.
So, and I know it's early. And obviously it's gonna regress at some point. He's not gonna put up a 199 OPS.
No,
plus.
He's not going to. But he's gonna put up a .9 something for sure.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. He did it last year as a rookie. So if he was Barry Bonds, it would be his by OPS plus standards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th best OPS plus in his career. Which that's Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds,
the greatest hitter of all time.
If Barry Bonds gets intentionally walked all the time, people still pitch to Gunnar Henderson because they think they can get him out.
And the only reason they can pitch to Gunnar Henderson is because they got Adley Rutschman hitting right after him.
Yeah, like we've said, this Orioles lineup is lethal. Like, pitch to him at your own risk. That's fine.
Yeah.
I would love Gunnar Henderson to hit a ton of bombs. Like, that helps my fantasy team, and it helps my Gunnar agenda. Love that guy.
Yeah, I mean, he already has 8 home runs.
8
as a shortstop, already. And it's April 25th,
and he's smoking lefties this year.
Yes, he is.
And God, I am so glad we were on the Gunnar train early because not only were we ahead of the curve, we were way ahead of the curve.
I'm sorry, I do have to make a correction. He did not have a 900 OPS last year. He had an 814, which is still great for a rookie.
For a rookie, great for.
He had 9 triples last year.
Yeah, and you know what? He hit 2 triples in a game against Oakland where he could have hit for the cycle.
Yep.
He could have pulled up at first for a single, and he was like, nope, I'm going 4 extra base hits this game.
Yeah, he was 8th in MVP voting last year.
I don't know what his odds are for MVP right now, but if you could place a bet, I would place
Yes, I 100% would. DraftKings sponsor us so we can plug that. Or Underdog.
Either or.
Either or.
We don't discriminate.
No, not at all.
FanDuel, go for it.
Yeah.
Like,
BetMGM. I am from Las Vegas, so BetMGM.
The boys from Vegas.
Yes, sir.
But
yeah,
no,
we can
nasty, like absolutely incredible baseball player. Like, I mean,
and so people start understanding the play the fucking song reference. His walk-up song is "Sweet Escape" by Gwen Stefani. So that's what we mean by play the song. And eventually, whenever I get this soundboard thing figured out, whenever we talk about him, I'm going to be playing that fucking song.
It's like the meme you have. You're gonna make me woo!
Yes. I think the video I made last night was hilarious.
Oh, it's excellent content. If you haven't followed us on the Baseball Diaries on Twitter or on Instagram, do it, because Tyler's making these memes that are just golden about Gunnar Henderson. Because, like, yes, there'll be other podcast that foams at the mouth about this guy, but it's because if you're not foaming at the mouth, you do not love baseball.
You're not paying attention. Like, you're just not. Yeah. If, like, the guy, he's putting up right now possibly one of the best seasons ever by a shortstop. If he continued
if you stopped it today, like, all voting today, he would be MVP. Like, he would have to be MVP.
100%. Because the only other option would be Salvador Perez, and I'm sorry, but Salvi's not.
No chance.
No, Salvi's not putting up the same defense that Gunnar is.
Like, Gunnar threw at a guy who hit a ball past Westberg, and Westberg's an excellent defensive third baseman. Past Westberg, threw a guy out at first base from short left field.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a guy who plays essentially platinum glove defense at both third and second base. Not second base. Shortstop. I'm sure he would play platinum glove defense at second base.
I'm sure as well.
But he's playing captain of the infield defense, hitting bombs, driving runners in, constantly collecting extra base hits, and he's walking, like, a lot. Like, people are afraid to pitch to him, and they should be. Like, this is a guy who warrants fear.
100%.
And again, if you're a baseball fan that's not a Yankees fan and you're paying attention, you should love what Gunnar Henderson is doing.
Can't argue with that at all. All right, so in the sake of time, because I don't know why.
No, this is a long podcast. So I had we went 50 minutes without me cutting out, which was
I know that was a record. I think it's always hilarious how we always say the long episode's going to be the weekend, but I'm pretty sure 90% of our longer episodes have been the midweek episode.
Well, the Cardinals gave you a lot to rant about this week,
that
so this one I think makes a lot of sense.
This one is gun is to temple.
No, it's getting there. Plus, the Astros didn't help at all.
True. Both my teams suck, and then the only team I have to grasp onto is the Orioles.
The O's.
Like, that's the only team where I'm like, they're fun to watch right now.
Yeah.
Everyone else, it's like,
sad note, they don't play tonight.
Yeah, that is hurtful news for me. And the Cardinals didn't play today either, but I'm not.
Well, that might be a little bit of a saving grace right now.
The Cardinals don't need to score runs tonight, thank God.
Huh.
All right, so let's hop into Hot or Not.
Oh, yeah. You want me to start this one?
Up to you. Doesn't matter to me.
All right, I got it. So my first hot is Eddie Julien. Guy over his last 7 games has...
I swear to God, every time we say he's going to start something, he lags out. I guess I'll start this. My first hot is Shohei Ohtani. It's kind of hard to put him on the hot list because he's who he is, but I feel like it needs to be mentioned because he's not putting up just good numbers. He's putting up even good for him numbers. He's got a 368 batting average, a 1.119 OPS, and already has 14 doubles. Excuse me? You move the guy to DH and he just decides to be the best DH in baseball. And don't get me wrong, he was the best DH in baseball last year. But he's got 212 OPS plus. That is Barry Bonds level numbers he's putting up. He leads MLB in hits, doubles, batting average, slugging percentage, OPS plus, and total bases. Yeah.
Yep.
I know it's hard to put Shohei Ohtani on the hot list because it's like he never's not hot. But this is even impressive for him.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
And I mean, apparently I cursed myself with that.
Yeah, it was funny because I literally just said, I don't know why every time he says he's going to start something, he ends up lagging out.
I heard that. I heard that. But yeah, no, Ohtani, it's kind of I think everyone shied away from him as a hot candidate just because he's I
it's
mean,
consistent.
he's
Like,
otherworldly.
yeah,
Like, he's otherworldly.
the guy is an alien.
And I mean, like, we froth about Gunnar Henderson, but like,
You should do the same about Shohei. I mean,
you should,
Yeah.
but it's like this is what you expect
It's like-
from a guy
it's
like
the
him.
Mike Trout and Mookie Betts effect. Because, like, same thing with both of them.
It is.
Like, you expect it. Like, it's just, they've done it for so long that it's like, yeah, duh. Like,
Yeah.
he should,
just to emphasize the Dodgers' like current situation, they've been going to war with the Nationals consistently, and this is a team in full rebuild phase, and they currently have Evan Phillips on to close the game.
hey, I like that because it's my fantasy team, but
Well, yeah, no, 100%, but
But-
for a team that spent $1 billion in the offseason, you're not expecting them to need to use their closer against the Nats.
yeah, no, you're expecting this to be a blowout game. But finishing off with Shohei Ohtani and the effect that he has, in my opinion, he should have 3 straight MVPs. Like, he should.
He probably will.
The reason I say that, he should already, because he won it in 2021. He should have won it in 2022 when Aaron Judge won it. I don't care what people say. Aaron Judge put up a fantastic season. Had it not been for him breaking that home run record, Shohei Ohtani wins. And I'm not saying if he puts up the same number of home runs, but the record is 64, 65, and he doesn't reach it, Shohei Ohtani wins that MVP, in my opinion.
No, I agree.
I mean, he was 4th in Cy Young while putting up an 875 OPS. Like, and hit 34 bombs. Yeah. And then that last year, obviously, when he won the unanimous MVP because he pitched great for about 3/4 of the season and then led all of major leagues in or OBP, slug, OPS, OPS plus. So, yeah, it's kind of like I said, the Mike Trout Betts effect, where it's like you're like, I don't want to say you're sick of seeing him be that good because you can't be, but like you just get so used to it.
Yeah, it becomes expected and it devalues your actual performance. My first on the hot list is Eddie Julien, twin second baseman. I feel like he's not really a household name, which kind of makes sense. But at the same time, what he's currently doing, I mean, he's got some good numbers, dude. Like 7 homers so far this season. He hit 2 today over his last 7 games, 304 average, 3 walks, 3 homers. He hit 2 today for the Twins to beat the White Sox. I mean, again, White Sox.
They're not really a baseball team, even.
No, not really. But he still hit 2 homers today. I can't leave him off the hot list because, like, 739 slugging over his last 7.
That's hot.
Yeah, and a 407 OBP. So he's been very good, and that's why he's first on my hot list. Again, like, my hot list is a little bit more probably niche names that, like, if you pay attention to baseball, you understand. But
I like that about both of us kind of doing that, because I think that's what I like. So Starting 9 used to do a similar segment, and they did a similar segment, and a lot of the times it would be guys would be like, "Who the hell is that guy?" And then I'd find out, I'm like, "Oh shit, this guy's going off."
Yeah. Over his last 7, Eddie Julien has been the definition of hot, and
I like it.
Like, good for him. Next hot on your list?
So my next hot is, I won't say it's kind of a niche one, but if you've been paying attention at all this season, he's not, he's literally the best pitcher in baseball right now. Cutter Crawford. 27
Oh, he's been nasty.
Yeah, he's got 27 innings pitched, a .66 ERA right now, a FIP of 2.28, and an ERA plus of 6.34, and a .988 WHIP. He's been, he literally hasn't a lot.
I mean, that also shows you what a good pitching coach can do for your staff. Because the Red Sox staff has been lights out.
They 100% have been. And last year they were not. Like, in general, they were not. I mean, last year Cutter Crawford had a 4.04 ERA.
Yeah, and this isn't a team that really upgraded their pitching staff at all. I mean, I don't think they really. And I don't even think they really upgraded anywhere on the field, even. But their pitching staff has been like.
Who did they add? They added somebody. They traded
Tyler O'Neill.
Yes, O'Neill, and then they also traded, which that one also hurts a little bit. They traded Alex Verdugo to the Yankees, correct? Or did he sign as a free agent?
No, they traded Alex Verdugo to the Yankees.
For what? What was it that they got out of that?
It was like Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it's not the most notable
Yeah,
package, I don't think.
yeah, but yeah. So Cutter Crawford has been absolutely electric for his 5 starts in MLB right now, and
Will regress maybe, but like right now he's hot.
I mean, yeah, hot as can be. 0.66 ERA. That's pretty unbelievable. I mean, that means he's given up literally 2 earned runs this season in 5 starts. Yeah,
That's outrageous.
All right, go ahead.
Next on my hot list, I pride myself as a man of faith, and I am so sorry for doubting Ellie De La Cruz. Like I saw him this weekend. I never want to see him again. The guy has been absolutely tearing the cover off the ball. I believe he has a 313 average. He is electrifying. Like I can't deny that. And I kind of expected the sophomore slump that we're seeing out of Corbin Carroll.
He's putting together a 40-70 season on pace for right now.
He's on pace for 47 homers and 101 stolen bases.
I didn't realize it was that high. Jesus.
Yeah, it's that high.
Yeah, which I will say I think is going to regress because that strikeout rate.
No, I don't think he's going to get there.
So alarming.
But I was definitely wrong for thinking that he was going to end up in AAA. Like I was 100% wrong, and I will admit
I mean, he's already put up 1.5 WAR.
Yeah, I mean he's been incredible, and I can admit that I was wrong. I thought that he was due for the sophomore slump that we're seeing out of Corbin Carroll.
He's got a 186 weighted runs created plus right now.
He's been insane.
I'm trying to,
and I can't deny the fact that he's on one of the biggest heaters I've ever seen. So, like, again, Ellie, I'm sorry for doubting him.
He's got a 313 average and 1.063 OPS.
Yep, he's been insane.
Yeah.
So, good for him.
Yep, he definitely...
That's all that needs to be said. Like, 47 homer pace with 101 stolen bases.
How many stolen bases do you have right now?
I think 14 as of today.
Let me see. 14? I know Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I think it's 14 because I know he stole 2 against us.
15.
No.
15.
Oh, it's 15. Okay. Yeah, I undersold
15 stolen bases and 7 home runs already and 18 RBIs. Yeah, that's...
I was wrong.
Yeah.
I will admit that. Like,
pride yourself as a man of faith. All right.
Yep.
Now you're...
that's a deep drive into left field by Castellanos. That'll make it a 4-0 ball game.
Now this one's going to hurt you a little bit.
No, go for it.
Because this team just seems to keep doing this over and over and over and over again. They've done it with Mike Soroka. They've done it with Max Fried. They've done it with Spencer Strider. They've done it with Ian Anderson. They've done it with what's his face, Huascar Ynoa. Every time they pull up a pitching prospect, which he wasn't even...
Braves pitching lab.
Not the Rays.
Braves.
Oh, yeah, Braves.
Braves
pitching lab. And he didn't even come out of their system. He got traded there.
They traded, yeah. Ronaldo Lopez.
Yeah, Ronaldo Lopez has a .72 ERA and 25 innings pitched, giving up 2 earned runs total and a 5.81 ERA plus for a 2.72 WHIP and a .880 WHIP.
Yep. I believe me, I'm aware. We have that group chat with enough Braves fans that remind me all the time.
Remember when I said that the Cardinals don't know what they're doing overall for pitching? Because apparently something in their system... Yeah, the Braves got it figured out. And the Astros have it figured out. And the Rays usually have it figured out. But
well, the Astros currently do not have it figured out.
But that's mostly due to injuries. I mean, they have like 5,000 people on the injured list.
No, you're right. No, you're right. However, like I will say, like in terms of like teams with astronomically good pitching labs, apparently the Phillies finally have one.
Finally.
So like,
but it's not to the same extent that the Braves do, because it's
I got like the fact that Ronaldo Lopez is pitching out of his damn mind. He was a reliever last year.
I mean, every single pitcher that they get, they make good. And like a lot of them end up getting injured. And I mean, could you imagine if Mike Soroka never got injured, if Ian Anderson never got injured, if
I don't want to imagine that.
So that rotation would be Mike Soroka and Spencer Strider never. So that rotation would be Spencer Strider, Mike Soroka, Max Fried, Ian Anderson. My God.
No, I don't even want to think about it. I'm glad that happened to them so far. You know what? I will knock on wood because I don't want that to continue.
You don't want that bad juju.
Yeah. No, I don't. Which is why I knocked on wood. I'm very superstitious about the Phillies. But Yeah, no, I can't argue with that. Ronaldo Lopez has been unbelievable to start the year. I don't know if it'll
Yeah,
continue. It
yeah.
might,
But currently hot.
but I mean, currently hot as hell.
Yep.
Following a similar path, my next hot, Bailey Falter. He was abysmal to start the year, and I can't say that shocked me. I watched him pitch for the Phillies last year. I think he was 0-9 when we traded him away. I'm not even kidding. I think it was that bad.
Eesh.
But since his start this season, like he was bad for, I think it was either the first start or the first two. Since then, he has a 1.53 ERA.
Shit.
He has been great for the Pirates. And look, good for him. Awesome. This is a kid that had like long ginger locks
Raise
and
the
now
Jolly
has a
Roger.
fade. Yeah, long ginger locks to a fade is quite the change. But good for him. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's succeeding in other pastures. And it's great that the Pirates were able to find something. I don't know if it was mechanical or whatever, but he's been doing very well since his start.
And if he can figure it out and they pull up Paul Skeens, that rotation gets deep.
Jared Jones is
That's
gross.
what I'm saying. That rotation gets deep. I mean,
Jared Jones is sneaky in the hot, but there are times where he gives up hard contact because he is kind of a two-pitch guy.
Yeah, that's the only issue with Jared Jones. But his strikeout stuff is electric.
Gross. I think he has the most whiffs on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Was it Luis Arias that he put in a coffin?
It was either Luis Arias or J-Ram. One of the two guys that you never expect to K on an inside slider.
Put him in an absolute coffin. I'm going to look at it.
It was definitely on pitching.
I know it was. That's why I'm looking it up right now. Because it was one of the grossest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
The dude is phenomenal. He has been phenomenal.
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was... I don't even know. For the Brewers.
Was it a lefty?
Yeah, lefty.
Jesus, how many lefties do the Brewers even have?
I know it wasn't Christian Yelich. Whatever. Regardless. No.
Oh, shoot. Bryce Terang.
Yes, it was Bryce Terang. Yes, you're 100% right. It was. It was, and I'm thinking of Max Fried put Luis Arias in a coffin.
Yeah, Max Fried, because I saw that on Pitching Ninja yesterday.
Yep. Yeah, but that Pittsburgh Pirates rotation could get very deep very quickly if they pull up him.
It could.
I mean, they would be Jared Jones, Mitch Keller, Paul Skeens, and then if Bailey Falter keeps it going, that's not bad.
Falter could be a serviceable forward. If all you need him to be is a serviceable forward, he can be that. May as well use it.
I'm still rooting on
your next hot.
Yeah, I'm still rooting on if the Cardinals don't win the division, which they're not going to. I want the Pirates.
Raising the Jolly Roger.
Raising the Jolly Roger for sure. All right, my next hot.
You're like Dallas.
Is not as shocking. Well, it's weird because it's shocking and it's not. Because 2 years ago, this guy looked like a Cy Young pitcher. He got second on the list. Last year, struck out the world, but had a 4.58 ERA. Dylan Cease from the Padres.
Oh, dude, yeah, sub-2
ERA
right now.
5 games started, 29 innings pitched. Doing what he normally does and walking a lot of guys, but struck out 35, and he has the current league-leading FIP with a 2.35 and the MLB leading hits per nine of a 3.3 hits per nine.
3 point. That's what you expect from maybe a reliever.
Yeah.
Holy
He's not
hell.
allowing hits to anybody right now. He's got a 216 ERA plus. And what's crazy is his strikeout numbers are actually a little, not significantly lower, but they're a little lower than they're normally on pace for. Like in 2021, he had a 12.3 strikeouts per nine, which led the American League. 2022, 11.1. Last year, 10.9. This year, 10.6. So trending down a little bit, which is kind of shocking. But if that means if he's giving up a little bit, if he's giving up a little bit of velo for control, and this is what it's causing. Continue to do that because that's fine.
No, 100%. Well, I don't even know if he was giving up velo. I think some part of it looked like he was able to pitch to contact better.
Yeah, well,
probably because he has a better infield defense and like one of the most athletic outfields I've ever seen.
So I mean,
so that could play into it. And I mean, again, will it regress? Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
neither of us know. But at the same time,
the crazy thing is his FIP shows that even if it regresses, he's at a 2.35.
I know, and
Like,
that's like a Cy Young
yeah,
caliber easy.
yeah,
But yeah, no, Dylan Cease has been incredible. I personally love Dylan
yes, I do
Cease. I
too.
think he's a
So
great.
do I.
Like,
He's honestly the one
do I
that I
love?
wanted the Cardinals to go after too. Which,
I don't love walks, but I love Dylan
yeah.
Cease. He's a lot of
Going
fun to
back to
watch
my
as a
Cardinals
pitcher.
real quick. Now there is also a world where we have Dylan Cease and Jordan Montgomery with Sonny Gray. Sorry, I had to do that real quick.
You're just like you're like hurting yourself
I
this
know.
episode. It's almost
I
like
know.
it's like a masochism.
No, because I don't like
episode.
it. I don't like it at all.
Okay, that's fair. So like it's not quite masochism,
I'm gonna look.
but like it's getting. What's the best word for that?
Did they trade
because we could title it that.
Yeah, Dylan Cease is.
You're just gonna hurt yourself. I don't know why you keep doing this.
He's getting paid $8 million.
Well, yeah, he's still in
I know,
arbitration.
but
Isn't he a free agent next
yeah,
year?
he is. But you know what? I will take if you tell me the rotation for the Cardinals is Sonny Gray, Jordan Montgomery, Dylan Cease, fucking
You're breaking your edge streak.
Steven Matz and
Screw it,
Michaelis,
Kyle
whatever,
Gibson.
whoever, like
Oh, Michaelis.
Michaelis. That is and with the lineup they have, that's a team that strikes fear, like in a playoff series.
Oh, 100%.
That's a World Series caliber team. And guess what? That team doesn't lose Goldschmidt next year. This team
No,
does.
it doesn't.
Sorry,
Yeah.
rant
No.
postponed.
No, the rant just kind of like it segues randomly.
It does. Well, because the thing that annoyed me about that, because I was trying to think like when that fan was like, "Oh, well, what did you want them to do?" I was like, right now I'm so annoyed that I can't think of the exact thing that I wanted them to do. And now that I went through this, now I know exactly what I wanted them to do.
You could have traded Jordan Walker for him.
Yeah, and Jordan Walker is now in AAA.
Yeah, that's why he's on my not list, actually. Sneak preview. Jordan Walker's on the not list because he's
Fucking terrible.
one of your top 10 prospects. And
He was our number one prospect last year and was the Rookie of the Year favorite last year.
Oh, I remember him being
And
a Rookie of the Year favorite.
He didn't get a single vote for Rookie of the Year last year.
Yeah, not shocking.
Yeah. Go ahead on your next hot.
So next hot is William Contreras, who's just still tearing the cover off the ball. He's been insane. Not much else to say there. He's just been consistently good to start the season. He's fantastic defensively, is a weapon offensively. I don't know what else to say about William Contreras because like in terms of name recognition, he should be getting more than he is, but otherwise he's just hot as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, there's really not much else to say.
Honestly,
William Contreras.
honestly, regarding William Contreras, I think it's honestly to the point now where people should be talking about him as the best catcher in baseball.
He's up there. Like it's like what between him and Adley?
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, JT has been
he's regressed.
JT's been meh this year, but he's also older.
Yes, 100%.
So I'm not really shocked by that. Like I love JT. I love him to death. JT is not what he once was, but he's still great. But like the best catcher in baseball title can be passed on to Adley or William, and I'm like, yeah, I can't argue that.
And actually, that's kind of a good segue into my next hot list. Salvador Perez. Salvi is swinging it right now. He's leads the American League in RBIs with 23. He's got 6 home runs and a 1.004 OPS. From a catcher, I don't know about you. How old would you have guessed Salvi was?
My guess is 35.
See, I would have guessed he was like 38. I don't know why. I feel like he's been in the league for 100 years. But
it feels that way. But I also feel like he looks older than he is.
I don't even think he looks that old. I just think that I feel like he's been in the league.
I think it's more his body type.
That too.
I think it's more his body.
It's just
like
he's only 34.
He looks sluggish.
He's 34. Like
okay.
I feel like he's been in the league for 1,000 years. Like, and it kind of has been. He's been in the league since 2011.
Yeah, because he won the 2015 World Series, right?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So that's just I don't know. I always felt like he's been in the league forever. But yeah,
it's kind of like Bryce Harper. You're like, oh my God, Bryce is only 31. Yeah. It's like, yeah, because he's been in the league
he's only
for
31?
his entire life. Yeah, Bryce is 31.
Good God.
Had his third kid yesterday, hit a home run today.
I shouldn't be shocked because I'm almost like I remember like playing high school baseball, or not high school baseball, but I was in middle school at the time. And when ESPN put him on the cover, or not ESPN, Sports Illustrated put him on the cover. Like I still remember that to this day, being like, Oh yeah, I've heard about this kid. I didn't know he was that fucking good.
And he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, when he was literally named the chosen one.
It's a lot of
That is
pressure.
a lot of, and you know what? He's lived up to it. I mean, he's not the chosen one by any means because he's not going to go down as the best player of all time. Never will. But he's going to go up there as one of the best.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, kid's Cooperstown bound. He's gonna retire. He's gonna go
Also,
Cooperstown in a Phillies
I was
jersey.
just about to say, I love when dumb people are like, "What hat is Harper going to wear into the fucking hall?" I'm like,
he's gonna wear a
it's
Phillies
not
hat.
even a question. Like, when you could have made that a question was before the World Series run and before the MVP with them. Like, minus that,
Yeah.
after the MVP, sayonara. He's
No.
going in with the Phillies.
He's wearing red pinstripes to the Philly
Yep.
to his Cooperstown thing.
All right.
You know what? We should when that happens, we should go.
Should.
Okay.
Which, you know
whenever
who's going to
that
be
happens,
there, right? Also,
the entire Phillies
Yeah.
roster.
but Bryson's going to be there as well. Like,
Oh,
and they're
100%.
no, and like they're best. Like, when I say they're best friends, like Bryson was in his wedding. Like, yeah. Actually, I don't know if he was in it. He was definitely
Bryce
there.
is Mormon. Like, he probably got married young.
Oh, Bryson did get married young. He got very young.
No, I know
Yeah.
Bryson got married young because
Well,
I follow
Harper
Bryson
was
on
technically
Instagram.
Mormon too. Like,
No. I don't think Bryson's Mormon. I know Bryce
oh
is.
yeah, Bryce. Yes, Bryson. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think Bryson's Mormon. I think you're correct on that.
Yeah.
He lives kind of a Mormon lifestyle, honestly, though.
Well, I mean, when your best friend is Mormon, it's
Yeah.
1-to-1.
Do you have any other hots?
Last hot is Mason Miller.
Somehow we picked the same amount.
Yeah, Mason Miller's last hot. 5 for 5 in save opportunities for the Oakland Athletics.
Which the fact that I've had 5 save opportunities still blows my mind.
It's insane, and also he throws the the hottest fastball in the league. That's hot.
Yep.
Mason Miller
Quite literally
is
hot. Like,
yeah, like 103 is the most effortless 103 I've ever seen, and also shout out Mason Miller, also a type 1 diabetic. Love it. Good for
God
you,
nerfed
Mason.
Bolt the same way.
Yeah, he did. Except
Wait,
God didn't give me a 103 mile an hour fastball.
You know, you never played baseball that long. You don't know this.
No, I did not.
Because I'm doing more math here. Jordan Hicks is also a type 1 diabetic.
Is he
Yes,
really?
he is.
Awesome. No, I love
maybe,
type 1 diabetics succeeding in sports.
Maybe you should have played baseball. Maybe you'd have thrown 103.
Shit, I might have.
Apparently, that's the cheat code.
It's not going to happen now, but
you know, my brother actually got to catch Jordan Hicks one time.
That must have been terrifying.
Yeah. That's yeah. He said it wasn't fun.
Yeah. I can imagine.
So my last hot is the man that we know more about than probably any person in the MLB currently, and it's not Gunnar Henderson. I know we know a lot about.
Gunnar Henderson's on like scorched earth. Like that guy is hotter than the sun. So
we love Gunnar Henderson, but we don't know as much as we know about this guy because he was topic A of our arbitration. AG Adolis Garcia.
Yeah, he's tearing it up right
hitting
now.
312 with a 972 OPS, 23 RBIs, 7 home runs, and actually he's stealing bases again. He's got 4 stolen bases. He's got 4 stolen bases this year. So I kind of like.
Would have helped us in our damn arbitration.
Yeah, seriously. I actually kind of like if he comes back to being that stolen base / home run threat. That would be great.
Kind of like Mike Trout.
Yeah, exactly. It would be great to see that because I don't know. I like stolen bases. Stolen bases are fun.
Stolen bases light up like it gets in the
reason why
pitcher's head.
That's the one thing that I think a lot of when baseball went before the whole changes of rules and stuff like that. Baseball's so undervalued stolen base, and I think that it's like because they don't understand when you're a pitcher and you got a stolen base threat on at first, it sucks. It just does. Like even if you can backpick as many times as you want, it sucks because the second they get a good read off you, they're gone. Like and sometimes you're not focused on the UCLA. You're not focused on how long it takes because you're thinking, shit, I got 2-2 to this guy, or I'm 1-1 on this guy, and this is a big pitch. 1-1. If I get a ball here, it's gonna be 2-1, and then it sucks. So I have to throw a strike here, and then by the time you thought this over, the guy's he's gone. Yeah. And you're just like, well, that sucks. Now I reduce the double play threat is gone, and chances are even if I lifted my leg and I hear runner, hearing that runner can sometimes throw you off, and you end up missing the strike zone. And now you're 2-1 with a guy on second base.
That's why I love the almost automatic cheat code steal in MLB The Show.
Yeah. You get Jackie Robinson, and it's like I'm stealing every base ever. Or Ricky Henderson. Good God, nobody's ever getting thrown out.
No, I mean the L1 plus L2 immediate.
Oh yeah.
They're stealing immediately, and you're never catching them. It's awesome.
Yep.
So great.
All right, ready to go into the knots?
Yep.
All right.
You can lead this off because apparently I curse it.
All right. So for the knots, I'm going to go with another Vegas boy. I got pitching lessons from your dad when I was a kid. Joey Gallo. Not exactly shocking, honestly.
No.
He's hitting 134, but it's especially bad. Like it's just not good at all. 134, 301 on base percentage, 343 slug for a 644 OPS. He's under 100 OPS plus. He's at 85. Not connecting. He's got 3 home runs this year.
I mean it's kind of the Nationals type of investment. Yeah. They're hoping for the pop, but he's not hitting with pop, and he's also he's not hitting. Period.
Well, even last year,
and he's striking out a ton.
Last year he only had 21 home runs. The year before that he had 19. He's pretty far removed from a good season, where in 2021 he had 38 home runs.
Yeah.
So he's pretty far removed from even having a good season. And even that year, his OPS was an 808. So, yeah, I don't know what his future holds for him, but if he's with the Nationals, I guess he's going to have a starting spot.
Yeah. I'm probably going to start him at DH. It'll be whatever.
Yep.
I mean, it's the Nats. They're rebuilding. Yep. We've already covered that.
All right, go ahead.
My first knot, Jordan Walker. I mean, it's again, number 1 prospect in the Cards organization. He's back in AAA. He was hitting sub 200.
I think it was 112 or something like that.
I think it was 188 when he got sent down. I could be wrong. It could be lower. But the guy just can't seem to stay in the zone, and pitchers figured that out, and they won't pitch him in the zone because he's swinging like Javi Baez, and you're just like, whatever.
155 batting average.
155. Okay, so it actually was worse than I expected.
Yeah, 0 home runs, 1 triple, 4 doubles for 9 hits.
Yeah, I mean, will he figure it out? I mean, yes, he's still young, but at the same time, I at this point, I don't know. At this point,
yeah, that's the only good thing about Jordan Walker is he's only 22 years old. Which the thing that going back to my misery, drives me a little insane about the Cardinals and saying players are young. They usually are saying players are young when they're 24, 25, which, yes, objectively is young. But it's not like Jackson Holliday, who's 19, he's 20. That's when I consider crazy young for top prospects. That's what I consider crazy young. I don't consider a 24-year-old as a crazy young prospect. I think that's about on track.
Yeah, I mean, what the number 2 and 3 prospects in the Philly system are 18 and 19, respectively.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, and
I should say it's normal. That's for a top prospect to say they're young. That's when they're young.
Yeah, it's I don't expect Justin Crawford or Aiden Miller in the big leagues this year. I don't if they hit AAA, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah,
because they're both tearing the cover off the ball in their respective leagues, which is what they should be doing. If you're a top prospect at 22 and you come up to the big leagues, people are expecting things of you.
Yes, you have. I mean, you're not expected to be the best player in the league.
No, absolutely not.
You're expected to be serviceable.
Well, especially when their top flaunt of you was the fact that you're a power hitter.
Yep. And power hitters don't have 0 home runs right now.
Yeah, no, 100%. So
it's fair.
I mean, that's essentially enough said about Jordan Walker. It's just you don't want him to be a bust, but you're getting scary close to that same panic button that you have with the Astros.
Yep. I'm gonna kind of roll that same line with my next prospect or my next not list. It was last year's Colorado Rockies top prospect and Nolan Jones. Nolan Jones is
Yeah.
not swinging it well. He's hitting 148
No,
with a
he's not.
219 on base percentage, 250 slug for a 469 OPS. He's
I
got
was high on
one
him
home
beginning of
run.
the season too.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
He's got one home, and that wasn't a dig at you. That's just like whatever. Yeah.
No. I'm going to admit that
yeah.
because I thought he was like his OPS plus numbers were enough to justify thinking that he was going to hit.
Last year he had an OPS plus of 140. So yeah, I get it. It's Coors Field effect, but the OPS plus takes that into account. So
yeah,
right now,
so you gotta think
he's
that,
got a
like,
27 OPS plus.
Yeah, and like he's scuffling hard as hell, and I have no idea what could be making him scuffle.
I don't either. I genuinely don't know because I haven't seen.
Could it be that org? Maybe.
Maybe.
But you're never gonna know.
Yeah. That's, and I'm honestly just gonna end it there. That's all I have to say about him.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's not much else you can address there. But for my next knot, I get the Red Sox. The whole team's dead. Like everyone
as hot
on
as
that
they started
roster
the
appears
season
to be hurt.
It's sad to see what they're at now.
No, it sucks. Like, I mean, does it suck? No, not really. I'm not really affected by it, but like at the same time, you're like, Jesus, your whole team's on IL now already.
Yeah, I think
like you may as well pack up the season.
Jared's number one song played right now is "Hello, Darkness, My Old Friend."
100%.
That's what's going on. My next one. This one sucks to see because this pitcher had such high hopes in the Atlanta Braves organization. And if it wasn't for injury after injury after injury, I think he would have been one of the best pitchers in baseball. And it showed in his 2019 season where he had a 2.68 ERA and was 6th in rookie or in Cy Young voting. Mike Soroka, he's 0-3 with a.
We understand where he is.
Yeah,
we know that. But
0-3 with a 7.50 ERA, 24 innings pitched, and a 6.86 FIP with a 1.79 WHIP. It's sad to see, man, because there was so much high hope for him when he first. And there was. It just sucks because it's literally your like what if pitcher, like.
It is. The one thing I will say with him, I would love to see a team that has a pitcher-friendly ballpark take a flyer on him just to see what happens.
What I would like to see is a team like the Astros or the Braves to re-pick him up and just find something. Figure him out. Because there was something there 4 years ago.
There was something there. And there's no way it's all gone.
No, I don't believe that. I mean,
because it's like he was a primary ground ball pitcher anyway.
Yeah.
If you get him in, like, just for instance, it's not going to happen with the Mariners, but if you get him in a field like T-Mobile, he might turn it around. You don't know.
Yeah, I mean, do I think he'll ever be a Cy Young caliber pitcher again? No. I don't think there's a chance in hell he's ever that. But is he a serviceable pitcher? I think he could become that again.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about it. Would you rather have Mike Soroka or Kyle Gibson? Or Lance Lynn? No, it's a tough choice, but realistically, you're going to take a shot on.
It's a tough choice.
It's a tough choice. It is a tough choice. You're sacrificing technically proven track record.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're in the rebuild phase that the Cardinals are refusing to acknowledge they're entering. I'd rather, if I'm the GM, I'd rather take a flyer on Soroka.
Well, they've just postponed the rebuild as many years as they possibly can.
And they're still trying to.
They basically postponed the rebuild since 2015, 2016.
Yeah. And that, it sucks to say because I did think Soroka, am I glad he's no longer on the Braves? Yes. Again, I'm knocking on wood. Because, there's no way he goes back there, but at the same time, I'm that kind of sucks to see because the injuries are exactly what threw him off.
Exactly. Do you have any more knots?
My last is the Astros minus Tucker and Altuve.
Well,
that's it.
That actually leads perfectly into my last knot because this is also an Astro. JP France. Yo.
Oh, Jesus.
What the fuck, man?
Oh, Jesus.
7.46 ERA, five games started, most earned runs allowed in the American League, 25 innings pitched, 31 hits.
He's almost a guaranteed 4-run first.
Yeah. 5.52 FIP, 1.679 WHIP, 11 hits per 9. Yeah. I can't.
It's bad.
Yeah, just bad.
It's bad.
Like, that's just.
The Astros as a team right now, just bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you can say.
Yeah, minus Tucker and Altuve, they're in the not list as an organization.
That's why you're like an inch above the panic button right now.
Yep. Well, that's all I got.
Yep, that's all I got too. Thank you for tuning in to the Baseball Diaries.
Probably
for all of our listeners out there. It probably is our longest episode. I mean, Tyler had a couple rants in there, which, I mean, it makes sense based on the current situation of his teams. So I can't blame him at all. But
yeah, think of younger Brendan when the Phillies sucked. Except at least your team, your team acknowledged the rebuild.
Yeah, it took a while. I mean, dude, we had the Clentak era, so that wasn't great. But he did draft a couple good guys, but like other than that, you know, when you're getting to a rebuild, you kind of just got to acknowledge it.
Let it happen. Let the rebuild happen.
Like, you're gonna piss your fans off more by just putting it off. Like,
you're gonna end up with me.
Yeah, you're gonna end up with pissed off Midwesterners and like pissed off Northeast fans. Like, no. If you piss off the actual Midwesterners, then you really fucked up.
Yeah, if you piss off the Midwesterners, how did you do that? Because they're very angry. They're very hard to anger. Like, other than I'll say Chicago fans, Cubs fans can get pretty rowdy.
Well, it's Chicago.
Yeah, they can get a little rowdy. But like St. Louis, no. There's a reason it's basically called baseball heaven, because like they're never gonna boo you. Like,
and they should be booing you right now.
They should be booing every single time Kyle Gibson comes out on the mound. And Miles Mikolas. And Lance Lynn.
Take after the Phillies fans. Yes. Start throwing hot dogs on the field, boys.
Trust me, if you said it before, if I was in a room with John Moe, what would I do? And I said my lawyer would advise me not to answer that question.
Yeah, that's what I said before the podcast. Mm-hmm. And he declined to answer, which is probably smart.
Yep.
All right, but otherwise, make sure you follow us on Twitter at the BB Diaries. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We're posting fantastic memes,
mostly about Gunnar.
It is mostly about Gunnar, but
I'll make some more eventually.
Yeah, there will be more memes. But
in fact, I'm probably gonna work on some in a second. So
that's a good idea. But like we said, follow us on that. Follow us on Instagram at the Baseball Diaries, Spotify the Baseball Diaries, YouTube the Baseball Diaries, and
Baseball Diaries.
Keep staying tuned. We're gonna keep coming out. Yeah, Baseball Diaries Pod on YouTube. We're gonna keep coming out with these episodes.
Even if nobody listens, we're gonna keep doing it.
I mean, we're having fun doing it. It's better than just shouting into the abyss.
Yep. That's basically what I'm doing with you, especially the Cardinals ranting. That's just me talking to my dad weekly. Like, literally every week, me and him are just like talking about how the fans are stupid and they are supporting this terrible product that they keep putting on the field, and we're the only two fans talking about it.
At least you have the group chat now.
Yes. At least I have one other friend who sees this misery that is going on. Misery. Oh yeah. Misery in Missouri. Like.
Hell, that could have been
you know what? I'm naming that episode that. Like, this episode is going to be
Misery in Missouri. Yes. Yeah. That's a good name. All right. Well, signing off. Peace out.